Today is Wednesday, September 24th, and this is the Bay Blend from WUSF. I'm Sky LeBron. WUSF is launching a new daily show where you can make your voice heard, and today you'll hear from host Matthew Peddie about what he's excited about as it gets going. Plus, if you want to watch the Princess Diaries or try some new wines and spirits, I got you covered on where you can do that tonight. But before that, the news. St. Pete Pride officials are responding to the news that Tampa Pride won't be happening next year, citing the political and economic climate. Byron Green Collish is president of St. Pete Pride's board. He says they lost about $150,000 in sponsorships this past year, and even though the community filled that gap, he's worried about upcoming years too.
We had some conversations with sponsors about the political rhetoric and how does that look, their return on investment, and are they concerned about any backlash? The conversations have only continued with continued political violence and the temperature really being ratcheted up.
St. Pete Pride hasn't announced its dates for 2026. It's the largest LGBTQ plus parade in the Southeast U.S. If you get checks in the mail from the federal government, that's stopping at the end of this month. The Trump administration says paper checks are inefficient and responsible for fraud, so they're moving things like Social Security, disability, and tax refunds to online payments only. Audia Aponte in Tampa gets her Social Security and disability checks electronically already, but she says there's fraud concerns with that too.
They hacked my account, so they went in my account, and what they did was they deposit a big check. They go and they take out the money, including my money. So what the bank could do to help me, they had to go and close my account.
Some bank officials say they're concerned the electronic-only switch will lead to seniors and other vulnerable groups missing payments. Florida's first bear hunt in a decade is drawing hundreds of thousands of applicants for just 172 permits. Some of those are also from people who don't want the hunt to happen so they can get the permit and not use it. The permits will be given out through a random lottery, and the hunt is in December. When this happened in 2015, 300 bears were killed in 2 days. Is this a bad time to bring up that this is also Fat Bear Week? You can vote which Alaskan bear is the most chunky and prepared for winter. If you have a bit of time, check it out online. There's some really thick, with 2 C's, bears out there. Starting Monday, WUSF is launching a new 1-hour live radio show / podcast called Florida Matters Live and Local. It'll be our first local call-in show where we'll talk about regional and state news that matters to you here in the Tampa Bay area, and people can call in, give their 2 cents on whatever topic. It's no Bay Blend, but I still think it's going to be really cool. Matthew Peddie is going to host it, and I wanted to get inside his head as this big-time show starts up for him, so I took him to the most intimate place I could think of, the WUSF rooftop.
Sky, why are we on the roof? It's hot.
I just thought it would be a cool place to contemplate, get a little introspective, I just think it could be a place where you and I can talk deeply.
Yeah, no ceiling here, no ceiling.
When you first heard that you were going to be WUSF's host for their daily 1-hour show, what were those first couple thoughts that kind of run through your mind?
Well, one, I thought great because I've been working towards this for a long time. And then the second thought was, how on earth are we going to do this? There is a lot of work that goes into even just creating a 1 hour or a half an hour a week, once a week show that's pre-recorded, right? Because we want to create a good product. So we're going to be doing this on a daily basis. It's going to be live, and that is kind of terrifying.
I mean, you've been doing this type of thing for a while, right? With that once per week, half an hour Florida Matters show. You've been in public radio as long as I've been alive.
I don't know how old you are, Scott. I don't think that's quite accurate.
Let's not talk about the small details here. Do you feel the pressure of being a part of something new?
Creating something brand new, and it's all these kind of external pressures, that is a lot. But at the same time, if we don't do it now, then when?
What's the process been like for creating something unique that just doesn't feel like another run-of-the-mill radio show? How do you make Florida Matters Live and Local matter?
The secret sauce of the factor that we have not a lot of control over is what the audience is going to bring to it, which is also the great thing about it, the thing that I'm probably looking forward to the most. And then it's sort of trying to iterate something that isn't quite the same as what we've been doing. It does draw on a lot of what is good about radio and what I love about it anyway. It's just kind of something that's been there from the get-go, which is, it's simple, right? It's like people just having a conversation on the air.
This show is going to be also streamed, so people can watch you, see your face. We're radio people, we're not too used to this. How does it feel knowing your mug's going to be on the screen every day?
People can kind of peek in and see the process. One thing I have noticed about myself is I tend to wobble my head a bit when I talk.
So dude, you're gonna look at every little detail about yourself from now on.
you got to be a critic. I mean, you do have to listen back and take note of things that could be done better, but that's a bit of a trap, as you know, Sky.
Yeah, the Bay Blend has taught me that. What's going to make this a true asset for the community? Let's look 6 months down the line. This show's been going on for a while. What do you think is going to be the biggest value for it?
I think the thing, and I come back to what I'm most excited about in creating the show, is the fact that it's live and it brings the community in. Like this is such a big community we cover here in the greater Tampa Bay region. Obviously, we're not going to compress everything into 4 days a week, but it's still more time, and it gets people the opportunity to come into the conversation. Like, I don't know if you're like me, Sky, but there's plenty of times when I'm driving and I'm listening to the radio and I have like a steering wheel pounding moment. Like, come on, this isn't the way it is.
You don't know what you're talking about. I do.
Right. So what we're offering for people listening to this or engaging with it is a way to get in and make their voice heard. And I think that's great. It's kind of like opening things up. It's not just a one-way street. It really is going to be a conversation.
Florida Matters live and local launches Monday, September 29th. The show's on 89.7 on the radio dial at noon, and you could stream it with video at WUSF's YouTube channel. And if you can't catch it live, it'll be found wherever you get your podcasts, like your favorite podcast, The Bay Blend. Haven't talked about a comedy show in a bit, so here's one. Tonight at Grand Central Brewhouse in St. Pete, they're having their Wednesday night comedy show from 8 to 9:30. If you're one of the first to grab tickets, they're only $5. Tickets at the door are $15. It's a chance to enjoy some stand-up, make your ribs ache from laughing too hard, and be done in time to not be dead tired tomorrow morning. By the way, Grand Central stresses that parking there sucks, so be aware of that. The Town & Country ABC Fine Wine and Spirits off West Hillsboro is holding a wine tasting tonight from 5:30 to 7:30. For $15, you'll try a bunch of wines, spirits, beers, and if you really like one, you could get $5 off a purchase of $25 or more. So if you do that, technically you're only spending $10 for the ticket on entry. See, that's the math you need to consider when you're trying to drink on a Wednesday night. And tonight's movie on the lawn at Armature Works in Tampa is The Princess Diaries, a true Anne Hathaway classic. This was actually her film debut, which I didn't know. I also didn't know there's a sequel that's not nearly as well received, and there's plans for a third movie. Sometimes you just gotta know when to move on, man. Anyways, bring a blanket or some lawn chairs to this one. There's food trucks, and you can reserve some seating if you don't mind dropping money. Also, there's a royal makeover activity happening before it all gets going at 8. That's today's Bay Blend. We're halfway through the week. Keep going. This weekend is going to slap, especially if you finish this work week or school week off with a bang. Just makes the small break even more rewarding. Anyways, I'll get out of here. I'll catch you tomorrow.